And there we go. It is, as they say, time to play the music and light the lights. It's time for the Angry Aussie live stream tonight. But yes, Thursday night, isn't it? It's Thursday. It means tomorrow's Friday, which means it's basically the weekend. Like, yee-haw. Okay. I mean, party on down. And hello, Abigail and Chris. Hey, Abigail. StreamYard added that countdown video in as a default feature a little while ago, so you can do it before you start. So and it's neat because apparently there's some disconnect between when I think I'm live and when people actually see the stream start. So I figure that gives enough buffer that I'll be here. Musical Aviator, hello. You're lonely. Well, it's time to hang out, my friend. As you know, this is our way of hanging out now. What am I saying? That's only with people in Melbourne. Soon to be all around the world. Chris, you're still pissed off about the Norman invasion? Yeah, I used that as the topic for this stream because I saw some Facebook posts that I found funny because people are basically saying they're still pissed off about the Norman invasion. They think things would have gone much better in England if that hadn't happened. And I was like, okay, it was almost 1,000 years ago, but okay. And yes, you can point to all sorts of atrocities committed by the Normans in their conquest. And it's just like, dude, something else would have happened 50 years later, 100 years later. It's the way the world was. And of course, we can't change history anyway, but there's this person saying, this is bad happening. Well, you only exist because it happened, man. All of us only exist because of horrible things that happened to someone else in the past, whether that was 50 years ago or 5,000 years ago. We only exist because something horrible happened to someone else. And hello, Catherine and Glee. Abigail, after the massive tactic fail on the English at the Battle of Hastings, Normans deserved to win on general principle. Well, yeah, from what I've read, the English only need to maintain their shield wall, and they would have ground the Normans down, but the Normans did this fake retreat that made the shield wall break as some people chase after them, and that was their terrible tactical error. Glee, pissed off about Cook's invasion. Yes, fair enough. Yes, music over, that's true. The Normans giving us words like beef and poultry and other upper caste language. So when people say, why is it called cow and beef? And why is it called chicken and poultry? It's this mash of English and Norman words. I get where you're coming from, Justin. You could argue everyone alive now owes their existence to Hitler. Not really, but I mean, from certain philosophical viewpoints, everyone owes their existence to the way a stone fell in, a remote part of the Andes 1,000 years ago. And hello in Vegas, Nintendo Lunchbox. And that's the thing. Music radio, people saying, the Anglo-Saxons were better than the Normans. Well, they just invaded and wiped out the Picts. And the fake retreat was successful not once but twice. Come on, England. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit thing. But Europe generally, and probably all of human history, is just a long string of conquests and atrocities, basically. It's a thing humans do on the regular. So Most of my bloodline's Celts, so I don't like the Saxons either. Justin, yes, World War II obviously changed a lot of the world. Again, it depends if you believe in like a multiverse type theory where every possible eventuality happens and it splits off into a new universe every second. Or, oh God, what's the philosophy that says free will doesn't exist? Determinists? I'm trying to think. There's the philosophy that says free will doesn't exist and everything that happens was predetermined to happen and it was always going to happen that way. And free will is an illusion. Nintendo Lunchbox, who do I predict will win the US election? Predict's a strong word. Because I think prediction's a mug's game and good things don't happen anymore. I mean, it seems like the most likely outcome is Biden will win the presidential election. And the Democrats may actually do well in congressional and Senate races as well. Biden winning the presidency is borderline meaningless if the Republicans still control the Senate, because they're absolute pieces of shit, as we've seen. Safa, good evening to you. Yeah, Chris, you can see that a pivotal part of your life was a possible bus ride in 2008. Things, sliding doors, that type of thing. Justin, if Biden wins, it'll be the best thing that happens in 2020. And that is fucking sad, actually. That is such a pathetically low bar for positive events. It's just tragic. Because I will repeat, unashamedly, Biden is a fucking terrible candidate. The only thing that recommends him against Trump is he's basically human and humane, as opposed to sociopathic and hateful like Trump is. But it's just such a low bar. Oh, you know who should be in charge of the most powerful country in the world? Because you literally only get to choose between two people. It should be the one who has some basic human characteristics, because the other one doesn't have basic human characteristics. It's just, you could not lay bare the failings of the US and the US political system more clearly than saying you literally only have choices between a sociopathic monster and a really fucking shitty candidate who happens to have some basic human characteristics. Just ridiculous. Yeah, Catherine, Trump's not well. He's hopped up on goofballs. Nintendo Lunchbox, why is America still the most powerful country in the world? Because of its nuclear arsenal, its military, and its economic influence. Basically. And its absolute obsession with interfering with the internal workings of other countries. If, for instance, China was as interventionist as the US is, we would be having a global war at the moment. The US, particularly, not limited to, but particularly since World War II, has consistently acted in unconscionable ways and just continues to get away. Like I said, if China even approached the level of interventionist behavior that the US regards as its right, then we would be in global war at the moment. So Oh, Glee, your local MP rang you today. That's interesting. To what do you owe the pleasure of a call from your local MP? What was the call about? I know sometimes people say they called their local MP, but your local MP called you. That turn up for the books right there. I'm actually genuinely interested in what the conversation was about. Correct, Justin. The US has been at war for most of its history. I think I've read some ridiculous statistic like in the history of the US, there's only been 13 years in total where it wasn't at war. So, yeah. But Nintendo Lunchbox, does that make the USA bad or good? Well, I guess that depends on if you regard... no, I'm going to say bad. I'm not even going to equivocate. When you look at the level of interference, the level of murder the US has been responsible for in the last 50 years, well, more than 50 years, like 70 years, say, since the post-World War II area, the amount of death and murder that the US has been directly responsible for is well into the millions. It has been an act of evil on the world. And the promotion of unrelenting consumerism that is driving us all to a catastrophic collapse is also unconscionable. Abigail, you're on a first-name basis with your local MP. Oh, that's your Greens MP, yeah? Glee, oh, you just had a chat. The secretary told her you were interesting. That is awesome. I really like that, Glee. That's excellent. So will I get banned from the US? I was... I am extremely worried about US border control's propensity to say, show me your social media history if you try to enter the US. That worries me a lot. Yes, Chris, we did mention the Green Party, the Australian Greens. Abigail, who works campaigns for the Greens, has a Green local member in the Parliament, one of a couple Greens who've won office around Australia. Justin, you reckon MPs do just call constituents during elections to see what the issues are? Maybe. I've had someone come to the door, like, a canvasser, come to the door. I don't answer the landline. Who answers the fucking landline if it rings? She's like, no, I don't give the landline number out to anyone. That's just a fucking spam call. It's always a spam call. Oh, Glee. Sorry, I just saw you saying you told her about the idiots on Twitter. Nice. Safi, your MP's a minister, which makes it busy, yes. Yes, music over. Absolutely. I just feel like there's a really high risk if one of those ICE thugs at border control looked at my social media history, they'd declare I was unfit to enter America. It's just absolute fucking creepy authoritarianism happens in the US. Glee, Lydia Thorpe, who's a senator. There you go. Yeah. Oh, that's right, Justin. ACT election in 2 days. That's not really big on anyone's radar. Queensland election's getting a bit more coverage. And, of course, the challenges that Gladys Berejiklian is facing is in the news a fair bit. Catherine, they can insist that you show them your social media history at the border now. I don't know that, well, they wouldn't have the time to do it to everyone, but they do reserve the right to do it. And they can turn you away for any reason at all. And it has happened in the past. I've known of a few stories of Australians who've gone to America and the border control, and it's usually when they have actually been unemployed and have been going to see someone they know in America. The border control declares that they're there to sneak into the country and marry someone for a green card, and don't let them into the country. It's happened to, I forget who it was, like wrote for Women's Weekly or something, and had gone into the US on a tourist visa. But if you're going in as a journalist, you actually have to go in with a very specific visa, and she just had a tourist visa, and so they refused her entry to the country. So yeah. Well, Chris, obviously, if you don't have a phone or laptop in your possession, but here's the thing: if they are dubious about you, and this is a real thing, and you don't have a phone or laptop, they will produce a laptop and say you need to log into your social media accounts. And if you say, I don't have any, they are well within their rights to say, I don't believe you, you're lying, you're hiding something, we're refusing you entry to the country. So Justin, as a US citizen, you can be detained by ICE within 100 miles inland of any US border. So you absolutely can be stopped at the border. You could be arrested at the border. It's admittedly very unlikely, but you could see with me, they don't have to arrest me. They can just refuse me entry and throw me out. With you, they can't refuse you entry, but they could arrest you. And in fact, they can arrest you for whatever they want within 100 miles of any US border. A lot of people that you can't be deported, you can be arrested. You can be fucking disappeared. You can end up in Gitmo. So ICE have done some very bad things to US citizens. And I mean Caucasian US citizens. Mofo-san, I hadn't even heard of that one. An ABC journalist, Dan Oakes, was apparently facing prosecution over Afghan files leak and now will not be prosecuted. I didn't even know about that story. Abigail, you don't think you go to the US if you paid me. I've enjoyed the times I was in the US, but the totalitarian nature of their border control concerns me a lot. Probably rather go to, well, not fucking traveling anywhere at the moment with the Rona doing the rounds. I was about to say, I'd rather go to Europe. Oh, except Europe is going down in a screaming heap with a second wave of COVID. Like we were worried in Melbourne, 700 cases in a day. And it was bad. It would have spiraled out of control to thousands a day very quickly. France is getting like 25, 30,000 cases a day. I think across Europe, they're getting 100,000 cases a day. And it's like escalating. It's not leveling out. It's escalating. So, yikes. Yes, Glee, I've also heard rumors that we might get 20 kilometers travel on Sunday, which would make me happy. My first time, the journalists have uncovered the potential war crimes. That was the special forces killing civilians, wasn't it? Yes. And the AFP raided him. Well, as we have learned consistently over the last 10, 20 years, if you want to get fucked up by a government, your government or someone else's government, embarrass them with their secrets, and they will go out of their way to fuck you up. Justin, you could commit a crime in Australia, do time, get out of prison, admit to border control. Yes, they would have to let you in as you're a US citizen. Yes. They could do all sorts of things to you, but they would have to let you into the country. Yes, Chris, the US is also probably going to have a very bad second wave. It's picking up there. Invisible Chicken, hello. Hello to you. Yes, my first time. If by potential war crimes you mean murdering civilians for fun and cutting off bits of them as trophies, yes, Australian Special Forces potentially committed war crimes. Angry, where was Catherine? Where would I go if I travels 20 kilometers to Costco, to the city, and to see Abigail? Actually, if we get that 20-kilometer thing, and then Abigail's still up for it, I'd be going to see Abigail and getting her to do the upgrade on my computer so I could edit videos in 4K. Oh, yes, that's the other thing. More towns be added to the border bubble. Yes. My first one, US citizens have more rights than other citizens when it comes to USA versus the world. Of course, USA citizens versus that. Yeah, it's complicated. Oh, wow. Invisible Chicken, you had a Liberal politician decide to hold a talk in your environmental politics class. That must have been interesting. And Chris, you're going to go head up to the mountains. I'd like to see the pictures, man. I hope you share them on the socials. Yes, Abigail, definitely. You're on the list. And I'd probably two birds with one stone. I'd go to the Bitters Lab, which is over your way as well. But yes, you are correct, my first son. The USA refuses to recognize the Hague's authority to try American citizens for war crimes, despite, a bunch of war crimes being committed by Americans. The US is the epitome of one rule for me, different rule for you. Kelsey King, no, I've never had gay sex, just not attracted to dudes. I have only ever had the lady sex. No, just never been attracted to dudes. Oh, holy shit, Justin. You had Sophie Mirabella as a guest lecturer at uni. Jesus Christ. She's a fucking abomination. She's the epitome of the worst of the Liberal Party. She is like a stereotype of the worst of the Liberal Party. Jesus. You're actually more than 20 kilometers away from your city office. Wow. I'm just over 10 kilometers away from the city. Like 10 kilometers from my place gets right to the perimeter, like Flinders Street Station. So it needs to be more than that for me to do anything useful. Invisible Chicken, the president is what you expected from a Liberal, not answering difficult questions or turning on people who pressed him. Yeah. You very rarely learn anything from people like that. Would it be fair to say not just USA, but other major powers not care about rights? Look, I didn't, for instance, when I said, if you want to get fucked up by your government or another government, embarrass them with their secrets. Australia is horrifically punitive to people who reveal embarrassing government secrets all around the world. Basically, if you want to get really fucked up, you uncover, you tell people the dirty secrets of your government. And this is like when the government's breaking the law, where you think, well, they shouldn't be able to punish you if what you're doing is revealing an important instance where the government broke the law, but they will fuck you up. Virtually every country in the world will fuck you up if you reveal their secrets. Celtic King, I'm about 11 kilometers away from my PO box, so I cannot go to my PO box at the moment. Haven't been able to for 2 months. So, yeah. Glee, I think Northcote is slightly closer to the CBD than me. So, I'm like Caulfield. So, it's... Yeah. It's when we were thinking about how far can I go? And I go, 5 kilometers, I can't go far. And they look like the two places I'd most like to go. It's like the city and Costco, and they're both just over 10 kilometers away. Like just over 10 kilometers away. Yes, I need, if for those changes in travel restrictions to be of any practical value to me, I need it to go up to 20 kilometers. So yes, it's a bit of a thing. Yeah, I mean, we don't see the thing that one guy, that one fuckwit who went to the country towns when he was positive with coronavirus and infected some other people. There's now like 400 people in isolation because of this one fuckwit. And honestly, Polo Mars on Twitch, hello to you. Okay, Safa, with CBD being 350 kilometers away from you, then you're not going to be traveling there anytime soon. Yeah, well, Celtic King, on Sunday, we'll know when restrictions are going to be lifted. Polo Mars, you've got Nova, the Normans invading England. I suppose. I just posted that as a saying because I saw some Facebook posts of people who seem to be still mad about it 1,000 years later. Not quite 1,000 years later, but almost 1,000 years later. I think you need to get over it at this point. Justin, no, I don't know anyone who's contracted COVID, actually. Yeah, 150 of the isolated people are medical workers. Oh, Polo Maris, you're actually French. Yikes. Yeah, so yes, apparently, and this is not even a joke, that some English people are still pissed off about the Norman invasion. So yeah, okay. And again, I don't think anyone's like really, really pissed off, but some people look at the history and they go, no, and that was plundering, and England potentially would have been much better if the invasion never happened. Safa, the truck driver is apparently feeling guilty. Didn't get his results back when he left. Well, the truck driver broke the fucking rules. So, Celtic, what video camera do I use? I've got like a Sony Handycam. It's quite a few years old now, but it can shoot in 4K. So, but I don't shoot in 4K because the my computer won't process. Well, it will process 4K video, but it won't. Like, I can't edit in it because it's too much information to play smoothly. So, yes, I can't edit in 4K. Yes, Glee, that's my point, actually, that's the plundering and pillaging is just shit that happened. And it's kind of silly to 1,000 years later go, I'm still pissed off about that. It's like, well, if it didn't happen then, it would have happened in another 50, 100, 200 years. That shit just happened constantly. Doesn't mean it's good, but it just happened constantly. So, yeah. Polymers, you don't have a grudge about the Germans. What, from medieval times? Or you're being magnanimous and not holding a grudge over World War II? Well, yeah, Celtic King, the Abigail's going to help me with some upgrades, so I can edit in 4K. But we need the travel restrictions lifted so I can do that. So for the testing in Shepparton, I heard that like there was like huge lines. It was overwhelming the testing capacity, so they're rushing more people out there to do it. Guilty King wants to be a Viking. Well, okay, sure. Glee. John just bought his first PC and you have to teach him how to use it. Yep. It's an angle. It's an incline, a learning curve. That's what I'm trying to say. Jesus. Yes, yeah. So everyone in the country towns madly wanting to get tested is overwhelming the testing capacity. So they're rushing a bunch of people from Melbourne out there. So if you're part Viking, part Mongol, because most of my heritage is from Scotland and Ireland, that means Viking as well, just because of, the raiding seafarers along the Scottish coast and Irish coast. I'm going to have Viking ancestry as well. Justin, Spitting Image is a relaunch of a show that was on British TV in the 80s, those puppets. That was on British TV in the 80s. So rather than new, it's actually a relaunch. Polymars, your grandfather fought during the war, but still made your father learn German, make sure they exchange the German student. Yes. Actual reconciliation after a war is very important. Carrying on any negativity just means there's going to be another war, really. So, Glee, you've got Irish, Welsh, and Aboriginal heritage, which is a nice combination. Yes, I did. I was quite surprised. I hadn't actually heard any advance sort of publicity that Spitting Image was coming back, and it just popped up on YouTube, and I thought, okay. You didn't notice the subtle thing they did, because how the Spitting Image dummies works like a rubber caricature of the person, and they have real hands, and the Trump puppet. They've made a point of giving him tiny hands. I don't know I thought that was a really neat, subtle touch. If you haven't noticed, go back and look again. Like the one I saw was Boris Johnson talking to Trump, and compare the size of the hands on the Boris Johnson puppet to the Donald Trump one. I found that pretty funny, actually. Polymers, you had a show like Spitting Image as well. Yeah, it was probably licensed around the world, actually. So Celtic King, your DNA test, you were 60-something% UK, 1% European Jew. There you go. Although from what I've heard, those DNA tests aren't very accurate. There's all this weird guesswork in them. Ugly, you're a Spitting Image fan too. You like it? It's kind of, who doesn't like to make fun of politicians, honestly? We all have to make fun of politicians because, broadly speaking, they suck. It's just the way it is. They just suck. All right. I'm going to give myself some fridge space and get another drink, because I got a decanter taking up a lot of room. There's only a little bit of drink in it. Yeah, okay, the French version was inspired by Spitting Image. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually fully licensed it and said yeah, you can do your version of it, because that often happens with successful TV shows. They go around the world. And you like my bar, Polymars? There's a few bottles there. Yes. And my workstation's just there. And I am proud to say 6 months working from home with my home bar right next to me, and I have never had a drink during the day. I'm actually pretty proud of that. The temptation has been there far more than once, but I've never actually had a drink during the day. But I'm going to have one now. Just going to get a glass and some ice. Yeah, get a glass, stylish little glass. Get a bit of ice. Last of the Death Star ice. That'll do. Have to refill this Death Star ice cube mold. And because this is taking up too much room, there's only a little bit of it left. I'm going to drink this. Thanks, Invisible Chicken. Yeah. Just imagine doing an Aussie version of Spitting Image. I think there was an Australian sort of puppet show at one point. I have a vague memory of it. Maybe I'm imagining it. Apologize, you reckon you would have broken the rule with the bar? Oh, well, it's good. Oh, yes, Glee. Come the night. You can't see it, but that little ice ball in there has Death Star patterns on it. It's the Death Star mold. I actually know how to make clear ice with this. Cheers to everyone. This is a clarified mix of a whole bunch of cocktails that I made for my YouTube channel, and I didn't want to drink them. I had to make them for close-ups for the videos. So then I just poured all these different things into one thing and did a milk clarification process. The red actually comes from blood orange juice, not from any alcohol. But it's got, what's in here? Mezcal, vodka, gin, probably. Yeah. Ooh, Invisible Chicken trying chocolate-covered freeze-dried lychees. Ooh, I bet that's tasty and crunchy. Nice. Polymage, you got no work. You're going to have a beer. By 12 a.m., you're like, that's midnight, 12 a.m.? Celtic King's using Toby's phone's Facebook app. He's telling me there's 10 friend requests since we came into the stream. Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like the only friend requests I get on Facebook these days are for porn accounts. Yes, Invisible Chicken, I thought they would be tasty and crunchy. Yeah. Justin, you reckon Aussie would go way further, making fun of politicians in other countries? Oh, Glee. Sorry. Yes, I know you watched the Cocktail Channel. Was it the one where I made the whiskey sours, and to make them foamy, I did one with egg white, one with aquafaba, and one with Wonder Foam? This is a fun thing. What I might do for next week, so I might record I might record it tomorrow night. I want to, because I always talk about using fresh fruit juice. I'm going to make the same cocktail once with just freshly squeeze the fruit juice, and the other one with the fruit juice from a bottle, and see if I can tell the difference. Just have the question, Polo Mars, what part of Australia am I from? I am in Melbourne, southern capital of Victoria, and we are in lockdown, and we have been for 2 months, and it might get relaxed on Sunday as we try and get the cases of COVID-19 down. Yay! So, yeah, we're hoping to get our restrictions relaxed on Sunday. Well, Glee, I already know, because I try to do 3 videos a week, and I already know what 2 of next week's going to be. I think the third one might be that lime juice one I'm talking about. Yes, you're going to have a curfew. Sorry, you're actually in France. You said you're French, so I assume you're in France. There's a really disturbing number of cases happening in France. We had a curfew for 6 weeks. We've still got huge number of restrictions on what we can do, and they might get relaxed somewhat on Sunday. We shall see. So if you want Northern Vic to be an independent state, well, it's certainly got independent rules. Oh. So, yeah. So, no, I go, because Monday's Gin and Tonic Day, because you hear all these days, it's like National Day and International Day and whatnot. Monday's been declared Gin and Tonic Day, so I'm going to do Gin and Tonic. Wednesday's Mezcal Day, so I'm going to make a Mezcal cocktail. And I didn't find any other good sort of national or international days So for Friday, I might do the juice comparison. Glee, I think, yeah, actually used aquafaba from butter beans. So it's basically from legumes. So if you cook legumes, like, or they're just in a can, so it's like butter beans and chickpeas and whatnot, and it does, well, it smells like chickpeas, or it smells like butter beans. But when I mixed it with a drink, I didn't think it tasted bad. I didn't think it tasted hugely different, in fact. But yeah. But it does the foaming. Polymars. So yes, you had a lockdown in May, but now there's actually going to be a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. That's like the curfew we had in metropolitan areas. Yes, Safa. In Russia, it's always alcohol day. Celtic King. I think anyone who makes coronavirus about race and blames China and says stupid racist shit is a fucking moron. Yes, Chris, the people who opened up too much because they thought we'll be okay. And it's like, no. Particularly with the Northern Hemisphere going in, like Europe and the US going into winter, where you've got normal flu to worry about as well. See, because we had the lockdown going into our winter, we didn't even have normal flu. The early signs of the flu season was that we were actually going to have a particularly bad one, and the flu cases were going, and then they just went, and there were like no probably an exaggeration, but there were virtually no flu cases this winter. So you getting a flu shot tomorrow, Chris? I got a flu shot at the start of winter, just to be safe. Not that it guarantees you don't get the flu, but yeah. Oh, Polymers used to work in Noosa Heads in Perth. Actually, that's a good description. Australia, both friendly and rough. Yes, that's a pretty good description, actually. Friendly, but also rough. A bit rough and ready sometimes this fine land is. But yeah, so Noosa and Perth are a long way apart. They're a very long way apart. Safa, my work paid for my flu shot, so my flu shot was free, which is nice. Yes, Celtic King, VD is racist. VD is also quite stupid. Glee, you had a flu shot in hospital in April. I had to go into the city specifically to get my flu shot because, it was probably in April. I'd already been working from home for a while, and work said, if you go into the office, you can, because there was executive parking, but no one was working there, so they said, just call ahead and they'll let you into the underground parking garage, and then you can just go upstairs, get your flu shot, and then go home. So that's what I did. I went in and got a flu shot. Again, not that I would have got the flu, because I haven't been fucking interacting with people. I suppose I've been going to the supermarket, but that's about it. But I would have been very low risk for getting even a cold, actually. There's Polo Mars. I'm sure it's actually probably confused people, like when you went home, if you were explaining you were in Noosa and in Perth, and they're like thousands of kilometers apart. Oh, yeah. Celtic King, do I still have the VD letter? Possibly, maybe, somewhere. I'm not sure. Charlie, hello. Good evening. Yeah, Palomaz, adjusting to the Australian accent, I can imagine that being a little bit of a hurdle. If the English you had been used to was from the UK, the rather different accent in Australia could take quite a bit of adjustment. I can imagine that. Right, I finished that little drink. I'm gonna have another drink because I've got another one in here pre-mixed. No, the mystery drink that I forget what's actually in it. It's good. Ah, nice, Palomaz. You lived in the Philippines to learn the Australian accent and fluent English. That is an interesting approach. I like it. Yes, there are a lot of Australians in the Philippines. This is a true thing. Oh no, Charlie, you've relapsed on your Sims addiction. Oh no. Oh no. I don't think I ever got into Sims. I have been playing a little bit of Red Dead Redemption 2. Just a little bit. But I mean, on the weekend I'll play a few hours of it. But yes. You like watching Mormon missionary videos on the YouTube channel about our accent. That'd be interesting. So this one. I just chucked a bunch of stuff in this one. I know it's got scotch in it. I think it's got coconut rum in it as well. I feel like I can taste that. Polymers, Red Dead's fun. Once you get to the point where you can just roam around, the controls for a PlayStation are annoyingly complicated, and in a stress situation, it's very hard to get it to do what you want, or at least I find that way. I'm sure there's some reflex gamers who just remember shit without looking at, and I'm not that type of gamer. Red Dead's fun with moments of frustration. And Celtic King, I have experienced Minecraft, but I don't really play it. Alcohol of choice, all of it, man, all of it. I really enjoy making cocktails because I enjoy experimenting with flavors and whatnot. So, favorite cocktails are things like. I should write them down because every now and then I find one when I'm just experimenting, often on the live streams, and I kind of forget that there was a particular cocktail that I really liked. Polomas. I do actually have some Bundaberg rum there. Special edition. I got this one. I'll show you. Not the standard red Bundaberg rum, which a lot of people deride. But this is a special one. Bundaberg Black. It's a dark rum, aged 12 years. Our boldest dark rum, aged in American oak. What does it say on here? Aging this legendary rum for 12 years give notes of rich molasses, warming aromatic layers of clove and nutmeg that develop into a raisin and honeyed oak finish. To make the perfect black and dry, take a highball glass, 3 dashes of chocolate bitters, followed by ice, Bundaberg rum, and top with ginger ale. Which seems like a really sucky drink to make if the rum is any good. Yes, Bundaberg with the polar bear. Yes. So if I... it has this... It's a really nice smell. It's this chocolatey caramel smell. Like, it might have added sugar in this. Oh, yeah, it's got a really sort of... To me, it's got this chocolatey caramel smell. They're saying molasses. Yeah, molasses, actually, which is the basis of rum. Charlie and friends are making Skittle vodka. That is a lot of sugar. Making Skittle vodka is a lot of sugar. I prefer just finding a flavored liqueur. Will Aidsy be joining us? I don't know. I haven't heard from him. He stayed for longer last night than he said he was going to. Anyway. Glee, your grandson who's 6 asked for Minecraft. I found out Lego make a building game called Minecraft. It is... Minecraft is very much like Lego. That's actually a good analogy for it. Oh, Polar Mars, I think Australia's great, actually. Yes. And I'm glad you liked it here too. Um, particularly, I think if you got to be in Noosa and Perth on the coasts, you would have had a good time. I think that, and good luck to you. So yeah, there's nowhere else I want to live. Basically, I wouldn't mind traveling, but I don't want to live anywhere else. Mm. It's just there's like I don't know. There's probably 8 different things in this drink. I forgot what I put in it. Just chucked a bunch of shit into here. Oh, Fremantle, yes. Fremantle's quite nice. Guilty will they ever upload to the Less Angry Aussie channel? That seems extremely unlikely. That channel only existed when I was uploading a lot of the angry content to the main channel, and I wanted an outlet to do other stuff. And I was just doing now. My outlet is doing these live streams. The only question is, am I ever going to get back to doing pre-recorded angry videos? Maybe. Abigail, the company that makes Lego, which I think is the Lego company, I'm not sure, tried to make an online Lego, a massive multiplayer online Lego game similar to Minecraft, but couldn't stop people making penises despite their best efforts, so they shut it down. Yeah, because if they're putting the Lego brand on it, it's like suggesting it's safe for children, and if people do stuff unsafe for children, damn. Palomar, you want to go back to Australia? Well, you obviously enjoyed yourself, so that's good. Glad to hear it. So, yeah, all those places you're talking about with, Brisbane, Fremantle, all those places, I wouldn't mind having another visit those places. I'd actually love to do a trip around from the South Coast, starting in Melbourne, going around South Australia, and then all the way around Western Australia. Would take a long time, but I would actually really like to do that one day. So who knows, who knows, who knows? This is what you get. Animal Crossing's banned certain words in catchphrases. Yeah. Yeah. No matter what controls you put in place, someone will find ways to subvert them. So if you're an inlander, don't like the coasts? Let's see. Charlie tried to say ass in Animal Crossing, and it came out as donkey. Fair enough. Was the one in one of those? I think it was the one with the penguins. What was that early internet game? The online thing with the penguins. If you swore, it just changed it to Bobo or something. Ah, nice, Polo. You met an Italian who bought a BMW in Melbourne, drove it to Brisbane, then Darwin, then back south. Nice. Nice. You see, I kind of think the East Coast, like Melbourne, up Sydney, Brisbane, is a bit cliche. I would rather do the South and West Coast, because I've seen some spectacular photos and video of that bit of coast. So I'd be very keen to see it. So one day, maybe, who knows? I'll be one of those old people who is in a camper van traveling when I retire. That'll be me. That was it, Charlie. It was Habbo Hotel. Yes. No, Habbo Hotel. If you said a bad word, it changed it to Bobber. Yeah. And so I would mess with people by just typing, "Hey, how you going, Bobber?" And they would think I was swearing at them. And I'm going, "No, I'm just calling you Bobber." And where are you going? Oh, you're the most Bobber I know. Thanks, Paulo. Thank you. Yeah, travel's good. It's probably one of my big regrets is not traveling in my youth, because I really didn't. It's probably that's probably a byproduct of coming from a country town. Travel seemed a bit big and scary and whatnot. Like just going to the big cities was an adventure for me, moving from country town to live in Sydney for 10 years and then moving to Melbourne after that. So that was my big adventure rather than international. Yes, Glee, I'm definitely going grey, be a grey nomad. I actually think that's reasonably likely that I'll be that type. But we shall see. Anything could happen. Might be nomad in the Mad Max sense in 10 or 20 years. Everything goes to hell. I'll be taking my holidays down the Fury Road. If I'm going to holiday legendary on the Fury Road. Oh, thanks, Polo. That's a very nice sentiment. But if I have my shit together, travel's waiting for me rather than me waiting for travel. That's very nice. Yeah, I don't know about caravan suffer. I'd actually have to do a driving course in how to drive with a caravan because I've tried to drive with a trailer and I'm real fucking bad at it. I am real bad at navigate at how you have to learn how to reverse with a trailer. I've tried it and I am real bad at it. I am not good at all. Yeah, that might be a later iteration of my YouTube channel, Catherine. Angry Aussie's Grey Nomad Adventures. Yeah, Polo, there's a particular skill to learning how to drive with caravans, I think. I think I'd have to do a training course. Yeah, something like a Winnebago, like a camper van. I've done the camper van. Oh, sorry, Abigail. Polo Mars, who is being very chatty, is on Twitch. And and just so you know, Polo, most people are on YouTube and they can't see your chat. That's why I actually let people know when I'm responding to someone who that they can't see, so I don't look well. I was saying, so I don't look totally crazy. I probably still do, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Yeah, see, Polo wanted the same thing. Who the fuck are you talking to? That's the thing with streaming to multiple platforms. I need to get one of those little apps. I actually need to find out if StreamYard, which is the service I use to multi-stream, if they're ever going to introduce a thing so like the chat can appear on screen. So everyone can see it and go, oh, that's all the chat that's happening through all the different things. Because I know there are, if you use like Restream, that'll do it. But yeah. Abigail, you're good at reversing with a trailer. Okay. Don't do it often because men within eyeshot see a woman back up a trailer and insist on helping. Not me. Not me. If I see someone reversing with a trailer, they're on their own because I am no good at it. I've not had much call to do it. There's probably only half a dozen times I've tried to fucking drive with a trailer, and I can just tell you I'm very bad at it. I'm really, really not good at it. So Paul Polo. Okay. This would be Polo from Twitch has decided to join everyone on YouTube and Celtic King for a laugh went on to Twitch. Nice. Okay, well, now you can see the majority of the chat. Paul, I'll call you Paul now. There you go. I have to admit, as annoying as truck drivers can be, when you see a particularly skilled truck driver get their truck into what seems like a really difficult, awkward position to park the truck, it's pretty impressive. A skilled truck driver is pretty impressive to see in action. With one of those really long fuck off trailers, and they can just reverse park it into a space where there's hardly any space either side of the truck. So it is most definitely a skill, most definitely one I don't have, but got to give it to them. There is a very particular skill involved there. Oh yeah, truck drivers on freeways or country roads tend to be annoying as hell. But as I say, there's no denying the actual skill involved. Again, not all truck drivers are particularly skilled, mind you, but a lot of them are. And seeing a skilled truck driver do something difficult is something to behold. And yes, Celtic King, I am also streaming to Facebook. I'm just going to put the Bundaberg rum back. Why have I got so many rums? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2. I've got like 7 rums and 3 or 4 rum derivatives, things that are close to rum. But yeah. Thanks. Will we do a bar tour? I'll do a bar tour. I'll take the webcam over here. So I just do this occasionally. Let's do a bar tour. Okay. You can get most of the way. So you can see, okay, got like maraschino liqueur, chartreuse, vermouth, limoncello, Fernet Branco, Midori, Puigdemez, some Malibu. What's this one? This is from Peru. This is, what do you call it? Pisco. Peru's national drink. Macadamia liqueur, lychee liqueur, French bitter aperitivo, Armagnac, cognac, applejack, elderflower, Amaro, brandy, Aperol, Pims, bunch of liqueurs down there, rums and whiskies and gins over there. There's a lot. It's like 60 or 70 bottles. Yikes. It's funny, Paul. I never would have said rum is my favorite drink, but I started collecting rums, and there's like a fuckload of rums there. And I there's a few good cocktails that use rum, and so I've got different styles of rum for different styles of cocktail. No, so it doesn't smell rummy unless I leave the lids off the drinks. But rum aroma spreads around. If you were to leave, like, you know, a glass of rum around, the rum aroma does spread around. Paul, I should have some Ricard pastilles. Oh, pastilles is a good one. Yeah, what have I got? I have a few French products. I've got cognac, Armagnac, some Dolan, Bitter de Chambray. I think that's all the French products that I have. I think. And I've got a few other European liqueurs and whatnot. And I've got Irish whiskey, and I just finished my Scotch. So I have quite a few European liqueurs. Oh no, actually, there's I think this one is French. Let me have a look. Someone talked me into buying this, and it's actually pretty good. Le Berlou sounds very French. Oh yes, it's French. It's an apple walnut liqueur. It's really good, actually. It's a really nice flavor. So there you go. I actually have quite a few French products in here. Charlie, you like rum with pineapple and coconut? Yes, pina colada. Hell yes. There's a few good rum drinks. Yeah, I would not never, but almost never have rum and coke. Yeah, it's just someone in a specialty bottle shop convinced me to get this, and it's pretty good. Apple and walnut liqueur. What's in there? Drambuie. Oh, chartreuse is French, isn't it? Yeah. God, I've got a lot of French products. I have a lot of French products. I didn't really realize it. Then I start counting them up. There's quite a few French products in there. Nice. Glee. Question on a quiz. What spirit is the basis for zombie? Well, traditionally, three different sorts of rum in a zombie. Yes. A zombie is traditionally rum, 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 and rum. So, yes. But particularly, I like making clarified pina coladas, some rum and pineapple and coconut. Yum! I like it. All right, I'm going to have my other clarified drink now, which has like my dessert cocktail because it's got Advocaat in it. Da-da-da-da. All right. I think put this over here. What's it doing? It's more like it. Center me a bit more. Hellian, hello, Kirsten. Good evening to you. Just drinking some of my clarified drinks because it turns out they were taking up a lot of fridge space, so I should drink some of them. This one's sweet. Annette, you've been swindled. Oh no. Glee, you was rum when I used to go back in the zombie parade. True. But what's the one I found in here that I'm going to do for Halloween because it looked so good? It's called a coin toss. And that's a rum drink. It's in the chapter called Drinks of the Gods in this book. But a coin toss is 2 ounces, 60 mils of rum, 3/4 of an ounce of a sweet vermouth, 1/4 ounce yellow chartreuse, 1/4 ounce Benedictine, dashes of Peychaud's bitters. And because you use a red sweet vermouth, and I've got a very red sweet vermouth in the fridge, it looks really red and bloody. And so although the official name's coin toss, I'm going to make it for Halloween and call it Dracula's Blood. Annette, the zombie parade hasn't happened for a couple of years. And it kind of got too big, and then there was some fights over who was actually promoting it. Halloween, October 31st. So just over 2 weeks, 2 weeks from this Saturday. And it's a bit of a thing. It's not huge like in America, but it's a bit of a thing here. Oh, no, Annette, you thought you were getting purple gin, but it's just a purple bottle. No. I still have... Oh, that's what I have to do. No, that's what I have to do. I still haven't done anything with my pea flower extract that changes colors in drinks. Maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow night. I'll do like a gin cocktail with that to make it change colors. Because I got it like a couple of weeks ago and I still haven't used it. I've only used the bloody Wonder Foam once. So maybe that's what I'll do tomorrow. The magical color changing cocktail. Build it in the glass so people see the color changes. Do with gin and then add some lime to it. Yeah, Charlie, what happened? Apparently, the people who were doing the zombie walk in Brisbane decided they were just going to swoop in on Melbourne, even though someone had been doing it in Melbourne for over 10 years. And there was some sort of acrimony between them. And then one thing and another, they just stopped happening because it all got too much. I guess so long as it's good gin, Annette. But yes, I can imagine being pissed off if you thought you were getting one thing and you got something else. Abigail, do you have all 3 streams open just to read the comments? Yes, I was saying that I need a comment aggregator. I don't know that StreamYard supports a comment aggregator, so I don't know. Oh, and Kirsten, be careful what tonic water you use. It'd be bad if you get it wrong. Well, I did get some Cappy tonic water to make one for gin and tonic day, so I'll be doing that. Polymars back on Twitch. It all works for me because I see it all. It's just occasionally people in the chat get confused. That is true, Charlie. Brizzy at the end of October, too damn hot to wear heavy makeup. Although I do remember one of my first trips to Brisbane because my sister moved there, wandering through the streets of Brisbane, and this was 80s or early 90s, seeing the Brisbane goths, and they were like, fuck the hot weather. They're wearing all their black and all their makeup, and I was like, you go, kids. That's commitment. Being goths in Brisbane in summer. Like, wow. Kirsten, I didn't get the dry Cappy because I don't like dry that much. I got basically the standard Cappy tonic water with quinine. So yes, I know you did say you like the dry, but I'm not that into dry, so I got the standard Cappy. Sort of just I think it's standard. Look, I'll get it. It's just over here. Cappy, 100% natural tonic. Come on, God damn it! Where are you? There we go. Yeah, just a little. Just your little Cappy tonic water. So that's what I'm planning. Yes, Kirsten, I know dry Cappy's less sugar. That's why I don't like it as much, because I have a sweet tooth. It's cute. It's got Australia embossed. You probably can't see it, but it's got Cappy Australia embossed on the bottle, which is cute. But this is the one I'll be making the gin and tonic with tomorrow night to put the video up on Monday. It's just that, I actually have to decide which. Now I've got all these gins, all these Australian gins. I've still got 5 different Tiny Bear gins, and that's right. We were talking about making a savoury one. Make it with ochre coral gin. Might do that because then it'll be pink. That'll be cute. Yes, Cappy's a local tonic water. Yeah, if I make it with ochre coral gin, it'll be pink and that'll be cute. Might even follow. Thank you for sharing the Insta photo with me, Kirsten. I might do it your style, like actually put a cocktail. We call them cocktail tomatoes. What do we call the little tomatoes? Cherry tomatoes. Might put a little slice of cherry tomato and drop it in, sprinkle a bit of pepper on top. Make a savoury gin and tonic. So, yeah. Actually, I think that's the gin and tonic I'll make tomorrow night with ochre coral. I'll have to go to the supermarket and get a cherry tomato because we don't have any cherry tomatoes in the house, I don't think. So, do have pepper. I can crack some pepper. I think we have a pepper grinder. I'll have to check that. There are a lot of spices in that cupboard. Actually, maybe I could put a different spice on. I'm going to really quickly look at what's in the cupboard over here. So if I look at my spices, Yes, there's pepper, there's chili, sumac. I could sprinkle some sumac on the top. Well, that might be a bit weird. Allspice, cinnamon, sugar. Is that nutmeg? Actual real nutmeg? So, yes. I just got to decide, am I just going to do a sprinkle of pepper on the top? Or maybe do something a bit more exotic like sumac, which is red. And that might be visually interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Got a little bit of time to think about it. Kirsten, yes, I think Henry did use sumac in something because Mrs. Angry actually recommended I use sumac and stuff. So I still have some sumac infused vodka down there, a bright red. Sumac's a very strong red, and it's a really interesting. It comes from flowers, like most spices come from seeds, but sumac actually comes from a flower, and so it's like a little bit salty and a little bit sour and a little bit spicy. It's a very interesting flavor. Yes, Charlie, Brizzy Goths would definitely be the sweatiest people alive. Like when they take off those big black overcoats, I shudder to think the body odor that comes out from under it. That doesn't bear thinking about, really. Yes, Charlie, imagine that. No, you don't want to try on my jacket, you'll get wet. Yep. No, it's a whole special way of being if you're a goth in a fucking tropical city. Bad enough in Melbourne in summer, but it's not that I'm a goth or anything, but it did crack me up once. I did a walking out and about video on YouTube, and I had my camera on a little monopod doing a walk and talk at St Kilda Beach because it was a bright sunny day, and I posted the video and had people, like particularly people from Brisbane, going, "Why the fuck are you wearing a black shirt at the beach?" And I had to look at the video. Oh, I didn't even realize I was wearing a black shirt at the beach, or it never occurred to me that's an odd thing to do because, I live in Melbourne and wearing black is normal. It's just a thing. It's you have to justify if you're not wearing black or very dark colors anyway. So, but that's a real thing. That was a genuine thing that happened. People from other places, particularly Brisbane, were like, "What the fuck are you wearing a black shirt at the beach for?" And I was like, "Oh, I have to be honest. It did not occur to me I was wearing a black shirt at the beach because I don't put conscious thought into wearing black clothes. That's just a thing that happens. When you live in Melbourne, you tend to wear black clothes." Actually, I'm going to look up gin tonic sumac. Yeah, I knew that would turn up. A sumac gin and tonic. And that's with sumac infused. That was the other one. The spice I was thinking of using is attar. Yeah, I wasn't intending on infusing the gin with sumac. I was thinking of just sprinkling it on the top, and that'd be like a red powder on the top, which would be visually interesting, I think. But gin tonica. Actually, what's this one? This is on liquor.com. Zatar Paloma. Patron. Oh, they make za'atar simple syrup. That's interesting. A quarter of a cup of za'atar in the simple syrup. Ooh, wow. I just don't think I'd use that very much. So, and it ended up going off. Abigail, describing you in the 90s, big black trench coat, doing the same, didn't notice because you had good deodorant. Nice. Oh, yes, Charlie, bloody trying to do cosplay in Brisbane weather. Going to Supernova at the showgrounds. But yeah, at least inside it's air conditioned, but outside. Thanks for dropping by, Glee. Hope to see you again. Oh, yeah. Ugh. The hall at Supernova in Brisbane would just be a big sweaty mess. Yes. Oh, no. No, that's several kinds of not good right there. Oh, so now I'm torn between tomorrow night. Do I do a video where I compare fresh fruit juice to bottled fruit juice? And I've got some bottled lime juice. So I go and get a fresh lime. And so I don't know if I want to do that, or if I want to do the butterfly pea extract, pea flower extract. Oh, because yeah, obviously I could do the volumes they say is fucking 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water and a quarter cup of za'atar. You just keep the proportions really. So if you're making a really small amount, how much? Okay, what's the volume of a cup? I've got a little converter here. How many mils in a cup, volume-wise? Okay, done. 1 cup is almost 250 mils. Yeah, that's making a fucking liter. 2 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water is making, that's a liter of, Jesus, that's a fucking liter of this stuff. I want to make that much. But by that measure, if I did like 100 mils of water and 100 grams of sugar, and then 25 grams of za'atar, even that's a lot. Doing 20, 20, and 5 is probably too small, though. Yeah, you could obviously just do it proportionally, do a smaller amount. Because that fucking recipe they have there would be making a liter of sugar syrup. That's insane. A liter of a specialty sugar syrup that wouldn't work in everything. And they say, oh, that'll keep for about a month. The fuck am I going to use a liter of sugar syrup in a month? I don't use a liter of sugar syrup in a month. But me railing against the website. Damn you, website. Why are you saying that? That's interesting, at least. Za'atar in a sugar syrup. I don't really have... Oh, my sugar syrups at the moment, I have an oleosaccharum. So I have citrus oil infused sugar syrup, and I have a what is it? I think it's... Is it Demerara? I don't remember if I made it with Demerara sugar or with unrefined coconut sugar, but it's a very dark, rich sugar syrup. Anyway, so I've got one dark, rich sugar syrup and one lighter sugar syrup that's citrus infused. And I probably should use them up before I make any more sugar syrup, really. And that's definitely something else you could do, Kirsten. Make a large amount of sugar syrup, then take a bit out and infuse the spices in a smaller amount of it. That's interesting. They're just this people. There's a Sumac Gin, and this review from the Master of Malt website is referring to the lemony citrus of sumac. It's very interesting. They're saying it makes the most refreshing gin and tonic they've ever had. Goes pink. Because sumac, the spice, is very red. Be fun to experiment with. That's also a good point, Kirsten. If you add 15 mils of citric acid, stabilizes sugar syrup enough that doesn't go off. I should actually do that because I've got citric acid in there for cooking. I'll have to remember to do that next time I make some sugar syrup, actually. Make it a bit more shelf stable. I mean, I keep it in the fridge, but this is the latest thing is triple syrup, which seems a bit over the top. I saw it on the Punch website, Punch Drink, and I'll find this triple syrup. This is from a very knowledgeable person who's come up with this. So triple syrup is the brainchild of Dale DeGroff, who's, you know, one of the world leaders in cocktail things. Oh my God. And the ad on this is a cross between nerd stuff and drink stuff. You'd like this one, Abigail. There's a t-shirt advertised on this page that says, I drink because your password is password. Stella checking in from a stress visit to Macca's. That's all good. Oh yeah, and that's I've heard that as well, Kirsten. If you make it 2-to-1, 2 part sugar to 1 part water, is pretty stable. Oh, Abigail, I think. Well, the ad is going to be based on my browsing history, but it's apparently on. It's Redbubble. Yeah, it's a shirt that's available on Redbubble. I drink because your password is password. I thought you'd like that. Oh, ding. I know it's easy saying he feels bad. He's not going to make it. Right. So triple syrup is the brainchild of Dale DeGroff, who is a big name globally. So he thinks all the standard syrups weren't quite doing it for him. So he makes one that's 1 part simple syrup. So that's just sugar and water, 1 part agave syrup, and 1/4 part honey syrup, which is honey diluted with water. So it's a bit more usable. But I also saw one of the YouTube channels I follow, Educated Barfly. He tried this simple syrup, and he said, no, it's actually really noticeably different in the drink, and it is pretty good. So that's a bit full on. Yeah, he says he's feeling not great, and so he's not going to come on tonight. It's very nice of him to let us know, though. So this is DeGroff started thinking about this hybrid syrup as far back as the 90s. He found the waxy floral flavor of honey syrup too dominant in certain classics. Wasn't until the late 90s he created a working formula, and he's appears to have kept it a secret. White sugar doesn't bring a lot to the party. Wanted warmth and richness I couldn't get with simple syrup, while keeping honey's flavor in check. It's just wild that I actually really love people who are obsessed about the minutiae of flavors in cocktails, and they're really weird. Like the guy that Kirsten and I always talk about, Henry, who's the brand ambassador for Okar, has spent months doing these live streams on cocktails with various bar persons from about the place, and the passion they would bring to just doing subtle variations on cocktails was just amazing. I loved it. God damn it, Kirsten, you lost out on the place because someone with fat pockets paid for a year. God damn. All right, so all the positive vibes are going out to you, Kirsten, so you can find a permanent place, or semi-permanent place, I guess. Yeah, fucking house hunting. Stressful AF. Not great. I'm going to put a little dabble, just a bit. I don't have much more. I don't even know how, because these things, when I make a clarified drink, it's diluted usually at least 50%. Because it's not just the citrus that I put in. There's milk that goes into it as well, which creates the effect. So it's not pure booze, but it's got a reasonable kick. Nobody, good evening to you. This one was such a pain in the ass because this had Advocaat in it, and it wouldn't separate out first, and it was just going through the filter and staying really milky. And after some discussion with Mrs. Angry, we worked out that basically, Advocaat, because it's this egg and it's like a custard liqueur, it's probably got an additive to stop it separating, and that additive would have been inhibiting the curdling process that you need to clarify. So what I did was separately do a milk clarification with something that's citrusy and milk, and start that, and then pour this one. And it took 2 days. It took 2 days to run through the filter, but it worked eventually. Kirsten, it's your birthday tomorrow, and all you want is a house to live in. So I'm hoping all your birthday wishes come true, Kirsten, that you get somewhere to live, somewhere nice, somewhere you can be happy, somewhere that's convenient and useful for you. So sending all the positive vibes for your birthday wishes to come true, and you get somewhere to live. Somewhere nice. It's got to be somewhere nice, somewhere where you'll be happy. Don't want to make too many concessions. So, but yeah, on the plus side, it's probably easier now than it was before coronavirus, because Sydney's real estate market and rental market was notoriously fucking cutthroat. But a lot of people are under a lot more pressure at the moment, and a lot of rental properties are going empty. So I think things are slightly more in your favor than they would have been a year ago. Oh, sorry, got a yawn. Got a yawn. Sorry, get that out of my system. So, yeah, I think things are slightly more in your favor than they would have been a year ago. So we do the fingers crossed, all the positive vibes for the birthday wishes, that you get somewhere nice to live that's convenient for your work. See how well our psychic powers work, using all our psychic powers to have things go in your favor. Nobody. You have churches or a rental place in Queensland. Now, Kirsten's in Sydney. So moved there for her fabulous and exciting new job with the Archie Rose Distillery. Wait, did I get that right? Is it Archie Rose? I've had a couple of drinks. I feel like that's right. It's just one of those things like now I'm second guessing myself because right, no more of this. That's probably enough for Thursday night, but tomorrow night is Friday, and Friday night is party night. So I'm going to be making. What am I going to be making tomorrow night? I'm going to be making gin and tonic. Going to be making a mezcal cocktail, and still haven't really made a final decision. Will the third one be comparing fresh lime juice to bottled lime juice in a cocktail, or will it just be playing with my butterfly pea flower extract, the purple color changing stuff? Archie Rose. I did get it right. Is it instantly like I just went Archie Rose, and then something in my brain went, no, it's not Archie Rose, it's someone else. And I'm going, no, I'm pretty sure it's Archie Rose. So one of Australia's well-known distilleries. There are hundreds of distilleries across Australia at the moment. Archie Rose is one of the better-known ones. But yes. Stella, your phone auto-corrected angry. Oh, wow, that's wild. Corrected angry to Andrew. There's an individual at work you've been texting about a lot. That's fair. It's absolutely fair. Yes, okay. I need to make a decision. Is the third video going to be about fresh versus bottled lime juice? Or is it going to be about my butterfly pea flower extract and the magic color? 316. 316 registered distilleries in Australia. Dude, Stella, the Andrew makes you angry. Damn. Okay. There are people like that, without doubt. It's weird how I don't know about anyone else, but when my work's going really well, imposter syndrome kicks in really badly. It's like, my boss just fucking keeps talking me up to people. Oh, Andrew's doing great work. I'm like, I always think I should be doing more. Because, it's like kicked puppy. I'm making stuff up now. Kicked puppy syndrome. It's when, but that's the thing that happens. If a dog is abused when it's a puppy, it will always be cringy as an adult dog. And it's just like, having been treated like shit in a couple of jobs, I always expect something bad to happen. So it's good. Is that the right name, Kirsten? Butterfly pea extract? Where is it? Magical color change. The citrus squeeze creates the magic. Abigail, that is a good point. While imposter syndrome sucks quite a bit, at least it's a good sign you're not a narcissist. Add a few squeezes of this to a glass or brilliant blue drinks. Add a dash of lemon or lime, and the drink will magically change to bright pink. Also uses a natural food color. Contains powerful antioxidants from the butterfly pea flower, which change color with acidity. Have fun with ice cubes, which will melt to pink in cocktail. That's cool. Put a couple of drops of this in ice cubes and then put them in a drink that's got some acidity, and as the ice cubes melt, the drink will change color. Fuck, that's cool. Visible Chicken, you're happy? You can cross that off the list. You're not a narcissist because of imposter syndrome. Stella has the cure to imposter syndrome. Have a total fuckwit for a boss. Be doing 3 people's jobs. You no longer feel inadequate. Just over fucking work and stress the fuck out, but in a different way. Yeah. Well, because the weird thing is, I've been doing my job for a very long time. Like, someone who's done my job for 5 years is regarded as sort of senior, and I've been doing it for 20 years. So I'm actually pretty good at it. And the core aspects of my job that a lot of people find difficult, I find super easy because I've been doing them for so long. And so I just do some stuff and people go, fuck me, that's great. And I'm going, is it? Oh my God, I thought I should have done more. And always, it's a weird sort of stress to think that, no, today's the day they're going to say, the fuck have you been doing? Why haven't you done more? Whereas someone keeps going, oh, great work. Good. That's excellent. Thank you. You're doing great stuff. Thank you. And you're going, oh, but what are you going to say tomorrow? Oh, my God. It's so fucking stressful. But definitely got to use the Blair flower extract magic color change. I like the idea of putting a couple of drops in ice cubes so that when the ice melts, the drink changes color. That's actually fucking cool. Oh, you imagine doing it like I've seen specialty little ice cube trays that do the equivalent of like pebble ice, that make tiny little ice cubes, like a big long tray with these tiny little things in them. You pop it out so you have this like pebble ice in a drink. If you filled that up and put one drop of this in these pebble, and you wouldn't even do it in all of them, just a few, and then dropping that into a drinking, because they're so small, they'd melt quickly. So you make a drink and then drop a bunch of pebble ice into it and then stir it. And as you stir it, the color change starts happening. That'd be cool. Abigail, you once had a junior programmer you're training up telling boss that he feared for his job because you were so good at it. That's nice. That is a nice compliment. Yeah, no, buddy, that's the thing. It's the opposite of Dunning-Kruger. When you're actually knowledgeable and self-aware, you start to doubt yourself. It's when you're ignorant, you have no doubts about yourself. Yeah, that's it, Stella. Exactly. You're doing something and people are really amazed by it, and you go, I was just half-assing that. It's weird. There you go. So, buddy, I love it. The way everyone in this group fucking empathizes. We've all got fucking imposter syndrome, and it's like, no, but other people tell us we're doing good, and we're all like, am I really? Am I really? Is that what's happening? But yeah, maybe I need. This is pretty cool. The color changing stuff. Maybe I need to do that. Make a gin sour or something. I have to. Oh god, I have to think about what drink to make though, because I actually want it to be a stirred drink. And start with the clear spirit like gin, color change it, and then add the citrus and have it go da. Charlie, you online shopping while we're talking. Why the fuck doesn't JB have laptop cooling pads? Because they probably sold out. Everyone's working from home and buying way more fucking computer shit than they used to. There was a period where it was impossible to get webcams or microphones or monitors or laptops. So people are been buying stuff. Yeah, exactly, Abigail. In the Dunning-Kruger paper, they described it's not just morons think they're smart. It's smart people doubt themselves. Oh, no, Kirsten. I know what you're saying. You helped someone with an Excel problem, and so you've outed yourself in the workplace as being good with Excel. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ah. See, and that's the other thing that's good about this group. Everyone one-upping each other. Nobody's saying people in the church seem to think you're the best thing since sliced bread, and saying you probably are, buddy. Yeah, and you probably are. It's a great group of people. And that's why AZ thinks I'm too punitive with blocking people. And it's like, fuck no. As soon as someone's a piece of shit, they're gone. It's just like, no. Why the fuck would I indulge a piece of shit? No. Stella, driving home? Yes. Oh, you're listening on the drive? Love yous, Stella. Yeah, I'm going to go to bed in about 15 minutes. So, but tomorrow night's marathon night. Because you'll lead me astray. It's not me. I don't want to stay up past midnight doing this. You'll lead me astray. Why's my fucking beard curved to a side and be uneven? That's why I don't grow it long, because it curls. It fucking curls and goes off to one side. And so it's always fucking lopsided and it annoys the shit out of me. I'm going to do this. And then I should put gel. Beard oil's not enough. I should put fucking gel in my beard and style it into place and just stay there, you motherfucker. Nobody, you might stay up and get messed up as you get more tired. I think we all do that, man. I think we all do that. So, but that's okay. I'll tell you something. This is something these Death Star ice molds do. It develops. This happens nearly all the time. It develops a fissure, and so it becomes like the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Develops an opening, and then it eventually falls apart, like the Death Star in Return of the Jedi. Gotta try and remember to refill that ice tray before I go to bed. Have to use this special little funnel, because I'll show you. It's really neat how you get sphere ice molds. So obviously it's like a half sphere in there. So you take this off, you fill up that half sphere, and this bit, and then you put that on, and sort of lock the mold in place. And then there's these little holes in the top ones, and I've got a special little funnel that fits in there, and you pour the water in there and you fill up to the top, and it freezes and you get little spheres. Although they're very cloudy, although it has, I have seen, if I could be bothered, if I had the freezer space and I wanted to fuck around, I could make these ice cubes perfectly clear. Because as I've mentioned before, you get the clear ice cubes with directional freezing. And one way to do it, you can have just like a little esky, and you rip the top off and you fill it with water, and it'll freeze from the top down, and it'll push all the impurities to the bottom, so you can cut the impurities off in the end. But what I've seen is things like this sphere ice mold. If you fill up the little esky with this, and you fill this up and sit it on, so do it really quickly so the water doesn't run out, and you have some sort of support so this isn't sitting on the bottom of the thing, then this will actually freeze from the top down, and it'll push the impurities out the little hole there, and then you'll get perfectly clear ice spheres, which is pretty neat. I have also seen people do this fun thing where you don't freeze it all the way. Like you put the ice spheres in and you leave it in for like an hour and a half, and it's just started to freeze. And then you turn it over and it'll freeze a bit on the bottom. And then you take it out and it's still liquid on the inside, but it freezes from the outside in. So you will actually have a frozen ice ball, and you like drill a hole in it and drain the water out. And then you've got this really clear ice sphere that's hollow, and you can fill it with something. Like the guy I saw do a YouTube channel called Cocktail Chemistry, he did that. He drilled a hole. He's making a New York sour, which is a whiskey sour that you float red wine on. And what he did is he made the whiskey sour, and he made one of these hollow ice balls, and he poured the red wine into the ice ball and dropped it in the whiskey sour. So there was like this, and the ice ball goes invisible in the whiskey sour. So it's like this ball of red wine suspended in the whiskey sour. It looks so cool. And then you can stir it. So it gradually leaks out of the ice ball into the drink. Looked very cool. And what's the other one? There's this guy, Vlad Flix. He's like Russian. He's Slavic anyway. He's even, his channel art is, Slavs squatting in tracksuits. It's a cartoon of him squatting in a tracksuit, which I think is really funny. But he did a whole video on ice tricks recently, and they were really cool. I like shit that I cannot be bothered doing because it was really quite involved for a one-off trick. But it was pretty cool. It's the sort of stuff you would expect to see in a high-end bar where you're paying noticeably more for the drinks. So they're making it a bit more of an experience. They're doing flashy tricks with the ice. And he showed you how to do it at home. And there were some pretty fucking clever ones quite instantly. Celtic King, you think I should restart the Heaven's Gate cult? See, if I start a cult, it's not going to be a suicide cult. It's going to be a sex cult. So, fairly warned be ye. Yeah, I don't really have time for these suicide cults. I'll be like the guy from Umbrella Academy. Be the Messiah, but I'll be using my cult to indulge all of my whims. So is there a gin sour in here? I'm still thinking of cocktails with the thingy. Giffords. Gin fizz, gin sour. 32, 33. What's this guy's recipe? I could just do a gimlet, actually. And you'd normally shake a gimlet, but I might just stir it. No, Celtic King, I'm not having sex with AZ. Charlie, you're naturally clumsy. It takes a few drinks before you're walking into walls. Oh no. Yes. Yeah, no, I'm prone to the clumsies as well, I have to admit. Right, where's the actual gin sour recipe? 5670. A whiskey sour. Ugh. Where's the actual gin sour recipe? 84. 168. Well, that's really annoying. Anywho, Aspie clumsiness, yeah. Mystery bruises, yes. Yes, Kirsten. The mystery bruises. That is a great thing. Where it's like, you're having a shower or something, and you're looking, you're going, what the fuck? Where the fuck are these bruises coming from? As you're walking into things. I always know where they are if they're on my legs, like if they're on my thigh. That's from walking into the edge of a table, which is shit I do all the time. Sometimes you do it like, ow, that really ow. And then you forget, and then this bruise comes up, and you're seeing, what the fuck's that? Oh, all right, I walked into a table. Celtic King, that is actually a bigger question than you might think. Why are cocktails called cocktails? Because there are actually competing theories for that. One is a reference to a thing with horses cocking their tails. One is a reference, they think, because the garnishes, it might have been a reference to a roost tail. But no one actually knows for sure. Why are cocktails? Why are cocktails called cocktails? That auto-completed. The real origin of the word cocktail. During the colonial period, tavern keepers stored their spirit in casks. When the casks got near empty, the dregs or tailings would be mixed together into one barrel, sold at a reduced price, poured from the spigot, which was referred to as the cock, and patrons wanting cheaper alcohol, which was mixed stuff, would be asking for cocktailings. And because that was mixed alcohol, mixed drinks possibly became known as cocktails for that reason. Another popular story is from New Orleans, where an apothecary by the name of Peychaud, who invented very famous bitters, served a mixed brandy drink in a French egg cup. Eventually, the drink was named cocktail, French term for an egg cup. Peychaud's guest shortened the name to cocktail, and eventually became cocktail. They sound legit. But in 2015, alcohol expert David Wondrich trotted out the truth, the probable actual origin of the word cocktail. A perky, cocked up, or raised up tail on a horse is a sign of vim and vigor, so unscrupulous horse traders in the 18th century would put ginger and or pepper in the horse's butt to make them cock their tail up and look a bit more frisky, as ginger and pepper were also common ingredients used to liven up alcoholic drinks. The theory is that the term cocktail was applied to those invigorating libations after the practice of unpleasantly surprising poor horses with spicy suppositories. So that is a theory. That is a theory as to where the name cocktail comes from. Let's not get into the who's fucked up competition. So, yes. So, those are the possible theories of the origin of the word cocktail. That it might have been a French sort of corruption of a French word, that it might have been the tailings from out of the cock from alcohol being mixed, or it could be a reference to ginger being stuck up a horse's butt to make it cock its tail, which is supposed to make it look more lively and frisky, and so therefore a more desirable horse to own. And because ginger was used to spice up drinks, there was a joke about you putting that in to cock my tail. It became a cocktail. We will never know for sure. It's lost in the mists of time. Annette, do I want to know what a cock and tail party is, honestly? Sorry, thank you, Abigail. It's a hypothesis, not a theory. It is backed by evidence, though. But it's hearsay. It's hearsay rather than fact. And yes, Annette, it is Thursday already. It absolutely is. Sophie, you're going to be more awkward if we called it a penis tail. No, it's about cocking the tail. So it's not about penises. And there's some references to people thought garnishes might have been roosters. So, Abigail, you say pedantry is your middle name, but I'm willing to bet if I saw your birth certificate, it wouldn't be. That's me being pedantic. Yes. I don't think, I suppose it's a hypothesis. Honestly, I think it's just speculation because there is no actual evidence to support it. I don't think it even qualifies as an hypothesis, actually. I think it's just speculation. I think looking at the origins of the word cocktail is pure speculation because there's no reliable reference to back you up. Nobody, I'm in the same boat. The last 2 weeks definitely seem to have disappeared. The last 6 months, man, like every now and then I go, oh, I've been working from home for 6 months. That's fucking weird. Because it is. It's fucking weird. The idea that 6 months has passed working from home is super fucking weird. But, yeah. So, I'm just having a pedantry competition with Abigail. I have to bite my tongue or restrain my fingers like at least half a dozen times a day when someone posts something on Facebook. And I don't even mean like stupid, hateful political shit, but people post some anecdote on Twitter and they post, or Facebook, they post it like they really believe it's true. And I have to restrain myself from going, there is no fucking way that is true. That is just not true. And it's like, ugh. Like the recent one was, we've talked about it on the live stream, Kevin Rudd's petition to get a royal commission into the influence of Murdoch media on Australian politics. Multiple people should, like someone posted on Twitter, no mainstream media outlet has reported on Kevin Rudd's petition for a royal commission into Murdoch media is so popular it keeps crashing the site. And a couple of people have sort of reposted that on Facebook. And I've just been compelled to say, like, first, it absolutely has been reported in mainstream media. Second, pretty much without variation, when anyone posts anything on social media saying, oh, the mainstream media isn't reporting, the mainstream media is abso-fucking-lutely reporting it. It's one of the real annoying things on social media. People saying, oh, mainstream media is not reporting. It's usually one of two things. Either the story is absolute bullshit, or mainstream media is in fact reporting on it. My personal favorite, and this is usually the right wingers who do this, about some, and it's almost always a crime committed by a non-white person. Oh, mainstream media won't tell you the truth about crime, but, and then they post a fucking link to a story in a mainstream media outlet about what's usually an admittedly quite awful crime committed by a non-white person. They literally start off by saying mainstream media won't report, and then provide a link from a mainstream media outlet. And I want to put those people's heads into a fucking wood chipper. I swear to God. Yes, Charlie, it's the longest and shortest year at the same time. Time has lost all meaning. All fucking meaning. Hey, Megalich, you been at games night? I hope you had fun, man. Celtic King, we'll just have a metaphorical orgy, okay? And leave it at that. Make me sound boring and stuff, but orgies are not my scene. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how many signatures the Rudd thing gets. It's not getting a royal commission. It's not getting investigated, because the Liberal Party can very safely say that's just political sour grapes from whiny bitch Kevin Rudd, who lost his job, and it is of no real meaning. It's just Kevin Rudd being a whiny little shit, and it's just politically motivated crap. And honestly, they're not that far from the fucking truth. Notwithstanding, I have complete contempt for the Murdoch media. But, I mean, the fucking Liberals resisted a royal commission into institutional abuse of children for years, when we all knew it was a major fucking problem, and the royal commission revealed the absolute horror of how widespread the institutional abuse of children was. But it's just politically motivated. It's correct, in my opinion, but it's just far too easy for the Liberal Party to categorize it as politically motivated sour grapes whining. And they won't feel any pressure whatsoever, not the slightest pressure to act on it. Oh, okay. Abigail's here for an actual orgy. There you go. There we go. Oh, Mega Issue Game Night, you wiped it on a normal difficulty level of Gloomhaven. Okay. Yes, so but I'm with you. An orgy is just an opportunity to disappoint multiple people at the same time. It's kind of like when I was single, I did speed dating once or twice, and it was fun. I actually thought it was fun when people said, "What's speed dating like?" And I was like, "Speed dating's awesome. You get to compress 6 months worth of rejection into one night." And it's just like, just get it all out there. Celtic King, off to bed. Good night to you, sir. So after there was a tiny bit of rain tonight, tiny bit of rain. Yeah, exactly. Nobody, you Google the Rudd petition, the first page is all mainstream media reports. It's just a thing people do that shits me. It's like that particular strand of Facebook post about, I bet no one's brave enough to post this. And I go, I bet you can fuck off. You absolutely guaranteed I will not repost what you posted because it's a dumb fucking chain post and I fucking hate it. Nobody. You're just going to short circuit it. Next time a woman hits on you, if you're not in the mood, you say, well, you don't want to hit on me. I'm actually really shit in bed. But I think that's reverse psychology. Like, oh, you're just saying that because you're good in bed. Reverse psychology. Oh my God, I just realized it's shot way past 10 o'clock. I thought it was about 9:45. How the fuck did that happen? God damn. Oh well, I am going to go to bed. Thank you, fine people, for sharing some time with me this evening. It has been fabulous as always. And for those in such a mood, have the old online party night tomorrow night, being Friday night. Yeah. And so if you're up for it, I'll see you then. Otherwise, take care of yourself. Have a good night. You're all exceptionally fabulous.